make sure you don't touch her tail.
Keep talking. I'm trying to catch him being happy here.
Oh.
He was chatting with you guys. Laughing and everything, yeah. But he's sneaky. He knows when I come around with this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and get everything ready to start putting things in the ground. And I'll bring out his stroller. And then he can come outside. Okay? And then you guys can run around for a while. But I need you to keep a close eye on him.
Yeah.
Andre, do you know what a seizure looks like?
Yeah, I know.
What does it look like?
Flip him on his side so he doesn't swallow his tongue.
What does it look like?
Either he starts seizing out, like flopping like that, or he can have one of those seizures where he just foams out of the mouth.
Oh, well, gee.
It's 2 different seizures.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. You're telling me more than other people are supposed to be telling me.
And the hospital did not tell us anything about
No, okay, so the kind that Amari has, well, he only had one, right?
Was this
He
one?
starts to shake like this, and he goes,
Okay.
okay, that's what his was like. So, yeah, just keep an eye open for that. But he's on medicine now, so hopefully he won't have any more. But we don't know what sparked it, right? Right, Amari? Huh?
He's just staring dead into my eyes.
Yeah, well, because he knows I have this.
Yeah.
And he's sneaky, right?
He's like, I don't
You know, right, right, Amari? You know, huh? You know when Nana has this, huh? Yeah. Okay, let me get on with it. Hold on. Okay, so, I don't know, it just started to rain. Right? I can still go into the greenhouse and try and do something in the greenhouse. I was going to bring Amari outside, but obviously not now. So we've got Jude and Andre keeping an eye on Amari. And Jude knows what seizures are all about, because he told me one that I wouldn't have known. But anyway, so I have to do something. I can't waste any time here, right? You can see these little guys. This here is parsley. This is parsley, right? And these are probably cucumbers and stuff, right? And then we've got tomatoes back here, a whole whack, which I'm just going to throw into the greenhouse at some point, and wherever, mostly in the greenhouse. There's that ginger coming up right here. I'm pretty sure that, oh yeah, that's ginger. That's ginger. So the ginger finally came up. So that's good. And then, yeah, more tomato plants. And I guess cucumber or something. There's this tomato plant I bought for $3. So those ones will go outside, but these smaller ones will, I don't know. We'll see. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done in here because everything, as you can see, is completely bone dry. Okay, like bone dry. Still smells good in here though, after all these years, people. Yeah, I love this room. It's so surreal, like you don't know. It's like Auntie SHAMAY's room, really. Yeah, really nice. It's got a really nice feel to it. Okay, so I'm going by sound. It's true. When you start losing your eyesight, you tend to use your other senses. Like touch is one of them. Sound. I'm assuming that this is on because I heard it, not because I can see the screen. Right? And I'm assuming that you can see me just by the position of the camera. Yeah, it's on. Okay, so I am going to start in this corner first. Oh boy. And talk to you for a few minutes about these nurses. I'm just going to pull out this stuff and bust it up and get it ready for compost, right? And the ordeal that they're having to go through just to have gainful employment. Okay? Actually, I could break up some of this stuff and put it into the dirt to mix, because I have to mix up these pots, right? I have to take a knife and move things around, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these up. I couldn't find my other gloves, so I'm just doing this for now. I thought this was a normal pair of rubber gloves, but obviously not. You can hear me, right? These gloves aren't going to last very long doing this. And I'm just going to mix it in with the dirt just to loosen up the dirt a bit. That's a good idea. These things are nice and bone dry. They'll do really well. So anyway, you know, I'm thinking, right, like, oh, I can't find my mass exemption for myself and Andre. That means I have to go see a doctor, my family doctor, quote unquote. I'm not going to go see him though. Amari, Tisha will take Amari to him, but not at this point. What I'll do is I'll phone the clinic and I'll find out. I'll find out when he's not working. And then I'll come in on that day, see a different doctor, and ask him to write it for me. And if he says he can't, I'll explain to him why I can't see Dr. Fasinski at this point. And that I can't just pick up and go to another clinic and find another family doctor. Right? It's not that simple, right? So anyway, speaking of healthcare here, these nurses, the staff, just the staff, the hospital staff, I'm not going to pinpoint it on anyone in particular. I don't care if it's doctors, nurses, what is it called? Security, cleaning staff, cooking, laundry, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't think anybody should be forced, first of all, to be wearing these masks. I just don't, people. I could point out so many things that could spread more germs than people breathing. Okay? And I work with germs all the time. Like, all the time. My whole life. You take on the task of becoming a mother, you come into contact with a lot of germs. And very seldom are they spread through breathing. So what I'm saying is, whatever the government is doing in terms of their legislation, I don't know. I'm just wondering how fast I could write a letter of complaint directly to the Minister of Health. Send it by registered letter with my case number of my lawsuit attached to it. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a few things I could say, people. Okay? I'm taking the time to break this up because I'm going to end up mixing this into the dirt once I get into these pots. Right? It's free mulch. I'll put in some peat moss and stuff. Right. Once these potter plants get water, everything's going to come alive. Weeds and all. Right. So, I'm not too worried about it. So anyway, I'm going to write this, if I can do this, but the thing is, I'd want to do it fast. Like in basically one sitting. Short and sweet, but to the point. Where I think the first thing, well, how do you oh jeez. I'm tired, right? Prioritize. How do you prioritize the importance of a subject when it's up against just as important other subjects? Well, I think then in that case, Amari is at the top of the list, because if it wouldn't have been for Amari, I wouldn't have been there, right? And if I wouldn't have been there, I wouldn't have been able to see what happens in regards to what the workers are having to do just to maintain on their employment, to which I disagree with, because I think it creates fatigue. Fatigue in the workers, to which some of those workers, considering their employment positions when it comes to nurses and those types of individuals, but again, really with anybody, that, right? The choice of a mask, like the idea of wearing a mask as you're at work for 8 to 12 hours a shift, pretty much all day long, puts not only the worker at risk because of that steady, ongoing reduction of oxygen to the whole body, including the brain. That makes fatigue, and with fatigue comes mistakes. Okay? And I can use Amari's swollen hand as an example to the types of mistakes that can happen. Now, is my letter of complaint going to make a difference? No. I highly doubt it. But, on the other hand, you know, it lets policymakers know that not everybody is so, I don't want to say complacent, because I wouldn't consider the healthcare workers being complacent, as they're more like being extorted, literally, okay? Do as you're told or you don't get a paycheck, okay? But you see, you have to remember, some of these women that I met with Amari over the weekend are like young women, like the age of SHAMAY, who have either just became a nurse because they finished school and, you know, they've only been doing it under a year, or I met one that kind of was a little curt, a little, I don't know, she was completely different than everybody else. She kind of maybe reminded me of SHAMAY, maybe, just because, you know, she was, right? Not in a bad way, but, you know, she was on her practicum. She was a nurse in training. So everybody has their styles, right? The point is, she's being forced to wear a mask as her brain is still developing. And if anyone knows anything about science, even in a rudimentary sense, when it comes to the hippocampus, not to mention the rest of the organs in the body, or in the brain for that, in the brain, really. I mean, the body, yes, will fatigue on its own without an adequate amount of oxygen. And you have to remember, too, these nurses and porters, and they're walking fast because they're pushing, like when we went for the perm for Amari, right? They're pushing the bed, the gurney, right? Down the hall, right? You know, and running and doing this and lifting and carrying and just bending, a lot of bending over. And the one nurse that, you know, has only been working since November, I said, you know, and she said, yeah, it's like, it's like you're so busy. That's it. That's all you do is run like a waitress. That's always on busy hour. With a mask on, people. Which is wrong. If the nurses want to wear a mask, because that's what they want to do, then fine, let them wear the mask. If you're with an extremely serious contagious patient, like so contagious that you gotta put him in freaking quarantine, then yeah, by all means, wear your mask. But if you're just dealing with the general population through an average day of how many people go through the hospital within a day, over a period of a year. I mean, we all know it's the same old, right? And we all got along before, but now, all of a sudden, I don't know. Like, I could honestly say that their policies, the government's policies, I don't think it's Fraser Health Authority's policies. And if it is, then it's the government offloading the responsibility onto the health authority, even though the health authority is technically subsidized through a portfolio under the health ministry for their budgets. But, you know, if the government says, well, it's Fraser Health Authority that mandates their workers to wear masks, take it up with them. I mean, like, do you see how the offloading works? When the government should just step in and remove any kind of mandate and leave it to the individual's choice as to whether they want to wear one or not, unless, of course, it's under special circumstances where you're dealing with a serious contagion that it can be spread quickly through body fluids. Okay? Then maybe Amari wouldn't have had that happen to his hand, because that nurse, who is a young woman who clearly is being overworked, right? And forced to wear a mask for 12 hours as she's basically running from one area to another area, like walking fast, right? You know, if not running, right? And, she would have been more alert. She wouldn't have been so winded. She had something going on with her throat. Probably had something to do with the preservatives in the cloth mask. Right? I'm just saying. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about just, as if I'm going to sit there and write something, right? It warrants it, though, because not too often do people really have a voice. You see, that's the thing. It's not like these workers can write the government and say, hey, I'm your employee, blah, 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 and, you know, and have them be taken serious any more than by me. But at least if I do it, I'm not in jeopardy of losing my job or being shunned among my workers, because it's like walking through the halls, going in between different areas, you know, like I went to the cafeteria, I was in the car park, you know, I went in and out of the pediatric youth and child ward, right? I went down to records, right? So I was in a few places in that hospital at different times of the day, right? And, what do you call it? Put on your mask. Put on your mask. Put on your mask. And I'm like, I have a mask, actually. Just keep on walking, pretty much. I had to pacify others. You know how you hold it like that? I held it. I didn't plaster it on my face. I just, right? I used the same mask the whole time I was there, in and out of my pocket. Ew. But at least it wasn't plastered to my face. Yeah, so, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can squeeze that in. Yeah. You know, a little bit of advocacy, right? You know? Where others can't advocate for themselves. And a little bit of a reminder to the government as to how they jeopardize my family, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And they know. they know that by depriving the hippocampus of oxygen for any length of time interferes with the short-term memory of your mind to where it can't be processed at night like it's supposed to be, right? In the back of your mind, so that when you wake up in the morning, your hippocampuses are cleared out and you get to go about the learning process throughout the day, because that's how the mind operates. And then when you go to sleep, it clears it out again by logging that memory into the long-term memory part of the brain. So whatever this nurse learned is being interrupted. Because in order for her to get good at what she does, she has to keep doing it, and she has to keep remembering to the point where it just becomes automatic, right? And that's not happening. Or at least it's in jeopardy, right? Because Amari is, a sign that, her memory is being disrupted. I don't think it was just a mistake. But then I also don't think she did it on purpose either, people. Now don't think that I don't think I'm still not walking among wolves. Well, wolves in sheep clothing, that's how you say it, right? I haven't quite figured out who the wolf is yet. I'm trying not to look for trouble right now, okay? Like I said, stay focused even if you don't really want to. Because once you're done, you'll feel better. And then you can go on to the next thing. The kids are in there playing music. They're playing drums. And I've got this little, it's like a piano with a hose in it. It's from, right? And you blow into it, you can play, right? Andre, he goes on his little, whatever, and he looks up YouTube videos, and they're in there playing music with Amari singing. That's what's happening right now. As I'm out here getting ready to put some plants in the ground. I don't know how much I'll get done today, though. It's taking a little longer. If I pulled everything out, it would go faster, but I want some of this. I think it would be a good idea. Even if it's just a little bit. Anyway. We'll see. If I write it, I'll let you know and I'll read it to you. Okay? I think that would be a good letter to write. Yeah. Most definitely. Okay, I'm going to just focus on this for a bit and I'll come back. Hold on. Okay, so we have another camera ham here. Matilda. She's bugging me. Why are you bugging me? Because she figures if she bugs me enough, she'll get food. That's what it is. Yeah, I know. You grabbed my bag of rope. Yep. And now you think you can come in here and bug me. See? Look at this. She's going to try and touch my feet. No, I don't have nothing right now. Stop licking your lips. Okay? When I go out, I'll get you something, but not right now. No! Shoo on! Get out of here! I'm not in the mood for it! Shoo! She doesn't listen. Look at this little bitch. Now, mind you, I have more than one. This could be babies. Because the babies are out. Yeah, those are babies. Oh my God. They're all trying to get in. Like, what the heck? She has her babies out too, right? When I go in, I'm going to feed her and stuff and give her food. I just want to get a bit more done. You can see, right? And then I'll come in with the water hose and right. I can't believe how friendly this thing is. Look at this baby. It's a baby. Look how tiny it is. So tiny. It's a baby. A baby raccoon. Seems to be friendly. Oh, God. This greenhouse has been holding up pretty good all these years, people. Yeah. I'm going to lock it up, though. Yeah. Most definitely. I'm just waiting for these little guys to come inside. Somebody to come inside. That's all I need. Yeah. There's more than one. I know there is. It's right there. Yeah. I don't know if you can see. Right there. See? I can't see in this screen. I have to check these raspberries. Okay, so obviously, oh, there's dust, as you can see. So now I'm going to go get some peat moss. I got a little bit of cow manure, and I've got a few other things. So I'm going to be back. Okay, so anyway, I did a little bit, you can see, right? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what the weather's like, right? Okay, so I'm going to finish this video here. The strangest thing, I don't know. I don't know what this seizure did to Amari, but I gave him a bath, right? It was, you know. And he showed absolutely no fear. None. I don't know if it's because he's just happy to be home. Like, when I did that video and he was, like, inching his way up on me. And, you know, he's not really a touchy-feely kind of kid, right? But he was that day. That was very odd. Right? Because he was literally pushing himself towards me and, you know, and inching his way up, right? Just so he could lay up on me, right? You know, you've seen that, right? That's unusual for Amari. And then tonight, like, I'm talking, okay? Keep an eye on him because he's got those toys, and if he gets underneath his back, he can't move them.
I know. But that's just odd, like how he did not fuss.
What's that?
I said that's just odd how he did.
Yeah, it was like when he was a baby. It was like it was when he was a baby, people. He never even. Normally he gets scared, right? Like you have to go really slow and sing, and you know, and I gotta pause and pat the water. Not today. Oh God! As soon as we got in the water, that was it. He was having a blast. And then he started kicking like when he was a baby. And just wouldn't want to stop. Just didn't want to stop. Was laughing and giggling and splashing the water and kicking his legs. And, oh yeah, he let me wash his hair. You know, he didn't try to get up and cry. Nothing. Completely different kid. I'm wondering, it's one of two things. It's either he's really happy that he's home, like really happy, and it's coming out in his behavior, or, it could be three things. It could be a combination of two things, or it's one of two things. There's only three things it could be, people. Or, when he had that seizure, because you know his right side is very tight, right? His leg goes like this, you know, his hand, right? His arm. Well, anyway, maybe when he had that seizure, whatever part of the brain that does that makes everything tight, right? Maybe it kind of released something, pressure, maybe. And maybe that's why he just kind of went back to, I don't know. He's just way too happy. Like, the last time he's been happy like that in the bathtub, I'm telling you, it's been a long time, people. It's been a long time. It's like he had absolutely no fear. Absolutely none. And like he does, he needs to go into a swimming pool so that he can really just, you know, in the water, right? When I was at the hospital and they were giving him PEG, right? You know, they asked me, like, how he moves and stuff. And I said, well, he likes to move his legs. And now he can lift his bum up, right? Off the bed. Quite a ways. 7 to 8 inches. So his shoulder part is on the bed. But he lifts his whole butt up. I don't know how he does it, but he does. But anyways, I said he does this. And she said, that's good. The more they can move, the better it is. So that's good. But this, what he did tonight in the bathtub, like, I am completely in awe. Like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know what seizures, I've heard seizures can, you know, be problematic in terms of diminishing cognitive skills, or maybe making people angry. It seems to be the opposite with Amari. He's extremely happy, and he had absolutely no fear of that bathtub, and he couldn't wait to get in and start playing. Like, literally, he was splashing and laughing, and then he wanted to lay and kick, and then he just let me wash his hair, and he was laughing and giggling, and, like, any ideas? Serious. What do you think it is? Do you think it's because he's just happy that he's home? Or do you think that maybe the seizure released some sort of a pressure in his head where, you know, he can relax, right? And be more happy? I don't know. Or do you think it's a combination of both things? I don't know. I just know that, like, even Tisha noticed it in the hospital. He was holding with both hands, but he's still not really using his right hand very much right now. But he did there for a while, right? So I don't know. I don't know. They gave me this medicine, but nothing's adding up. Tisha told me the pharmacist said this amount, but on here, it's not what the pharmacist said, and it's like 3 times as much, which is a lot, which is too much in my opinion. So anyway, we're gonna go see, well, Tisha's gonna go see the family doctor in 2 weeks, because this is only enough for 2 weeks. Right. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to phone them or something. Honestly, I'm not very happy with this, but I'm just going to request that it be in the least amount. Just because he's never had seizures before. Right? And it really didn't adversely affect him, people. If anything, it helped him. In a weird kind of a way. Right? Definitely with the bath, anyway. But he's been laughing and giggling all day. Trying to sing, and yeah. Right? Being a cuddle bug, and I don't know. So, anyway, I'm going to end it on this note, though. Because, as I said, I like to document this shit as I go along. In terms of this stalking that continues to where, what do you call it? You know, I can't even plant food in my yard without worrying about what this bitch is doing. And if you notice, why? Why, people? Why? Why is she doing this? What is the purpose? Like, is she fucking retarded? Completely fucking retarded. Oh, sorry, boo-boo retarded. Right? Just saying.